is going to be revisited again in the coming chapters. However, now we are going to look at how can we solve this question. Assume that P, let's just put it, your colleague have sent this question on the chat. So assume that set P is a proper subset of a Q. What means a proper subset? Proper subset is everything in P is available in Q, but in Q there is more. Okay? Given the following statements. Okay, these are already answered, by the way. You might go to just down here. Oh, they are not answered. We answered them in the class. We answered those in the class, yeah. So it's okay. Let's look at it. Let me take a photo of it. And I'll just put it somewhere so we can answer it together. Okay. Make it even bigger. So let's look at this question. What does it mean here? It means that a Q is bigger than P. But there is extra element here in Q as well. So everything in P is available in Q, but not everything in Q is available in what? In P. So the question is, what is the, assume that P is a proper, given the following statement, which of the following is correct? So the union of P and U is equal to P, that's what? Not correct. Why? Because the union of P and Q is what? The Q, the bigger one. The P intersects Q is equal to P. That's correct because this part is common between both of them. The third question is a Q union the universal set is equal to Q. That's wrong because the omega, which is the universal set, is even bigger than both of them. So the answer should be the omega. Now Q minus a Q prime means, complement equals to Q. That's not correct. Now, what is the Q minus a Q prime? It means everything. That means what? Pi. Nothing is available. So which statement is right? It's a statement what? 2. Okay, are we good? Murtala?
Sir,
Yeah,
why did you
but
say it's wrong?
Can you repeat your question, Aisha?
The 4, why did you say it's by?
Pi. Pi means there is nothing. Now, this is a Q. Okay. And this is what? Omega. Okay. Now the question is, what is a Q minus a Q prime?
عشان سيرة تدخلهم لا أحسن.
Q minus a Q prime is a Q. Yes, that's right. Yes, sorry about that. The Q minus Q prime, that means what is in a Q? What sorry, I didn't get it. Okay, what is in a Q, but not available outside the Q? Yeah, it's a Q as well. Yeah. Okay. So you are correct. It's not 2, it's 2 and 4. Thank you very much for just looking at that. So 2 and 4 is the correct answer. Q minus Q prime. Yeah. Because anything which is not in Q. So they are not overlapping each other. That's why it's still Q. Okay, so now we'll move to look at the vectors. And the vector, we are going to look at 2 things, 3, 4, 5 things. The first thing is that he's going to give us 2 points. And he wants us to find what the vector. The second thing is that he wants us to find the opposite of it. The third thing is he wants us to calculate the magnitude of it. What is the length of it? Okay. The fourth thing is that he wants us to normalize it by the vector magnitude. So let's just start by looking at the first one. We look at 2 examples of each. عندي شيء الساعة 12. Tomorrow. Okay, it's not today. So calculate the vector for the following pairs in 2-dimension and 3-dimension. Doesn't make any difference. نعم.
الحين بديت هذه ولا قبل شنو بديت؟
لا ما بديت شيء بتوي.
الحين بتسوي
أوكي.
هذه؟
إيه أول
عقب بريك
سؤال.
سيدي سويت هذه ولا قبل شيء هاي؟
جاوبنا سؤال مرتضى أعطانا إياه في الشات وجاوبنا ويا بعض. Now calculate the vector ومسجل. Calculate the vector for the following pairs of 2D and 3D points. It might be even bigger than a 3D, 5D, 10D, million D, we don't care. It's the same approach. We just take the same steps and answer it. So if he asks us between P and P prime, the vector of P prime, it doesn't have to be P and P. It could be...
No video. No video.
There is video. Guys, can you see the video? Can you see the sharing? Yes, they can see it. Maybe log off and log in or whatever, you might find it. So it doesn't have to be the same letter or whatever. It can be any other letter like V1, V2, V and X, Y and Z, S and R. It doesn't make any difference. It's just 2 points. He wants to say there's 2 points. Okay. That's the only thing that he wants to say. When he asks you to find P prime, we take the second minus the first to find the X and the Y. So here he asks us for P prime. So we'll take this point, we'll say minus what? This point. And this point minus what? That point. Directly. So 0 minus 1, minus 2, sorry, comma, 1 minus what? 0. And that will give us minus 2 and 1. Is it clear? Excellent, Muhammad Jassim. So we take the X of the second one minus the X of the first one. So 0 minus 2 and 1 minus 0, and that will be minus 1 and 2. If we want to visualize it, because there we are going to look at a few extra things here. Okay, if we want to visualize it, then this is the first point and this is the second point. And that's the results. So how can we understand that the result of 2 points is on the other dimension? Now, it doesn't make any difference if the position is here, here, or here. It's all the same. So why is it the same? Because now we can see if we move this line, we can see it's exactly the same one at different position. Okay, but this is just an extra which we are going to cover it later after the exam, the midterm. Now let's take another example. Yalla guys, do this example for me. What is the outcome? So this minus what? This. No, the second minus the first, those who have answered it wrongly. It's the x points. These are the x points. This is first, you put it. This is you put it second. This is first. This is you put it second. So 0 minus what? 0, comma. And here 1 minus what? 0. Which is going to be what? 0 and 1. Those who have said that, I have a question. If for all of the class, that means standard deviation sum. Yes, Aisha, if it depends on the question. If he's asking about your class and he gave you your class marks, then it's a population. If he said there is 20 classes, this is one of the classes results. What is the standard deviation of math? Then it's what? A sample, because we are taking just a small subset of the overall picture. Excellent, guys. So we are going to do it in the same manner. And we can see that if we want to visualize it now, this is only on the origin. And that one is just a move, so the answer is a move. It's the same thing if we have taken 3 dimensions. Yalla guys, do it for me. We'll take the x minus the x, the y minus the y, and the z minus the z. So we have Murtada, excellent. I don't know if it's correct. Let's see. Yeah. Excellent, Murtada. What about others? Excellent, guys. Muhammad Jassim. Think about the second one, the y. Excellent, guys. Hussein Hamid, think about the second one, the y. Okay, so let's answer together. We take the second point minus the first point. So this is the second point, minus 2, minus what? 9, comma. Then we take 4 minus what? 8, 4 minus 8, comma. Then we take 1 minus what? 0. And that will give us minus 11, minus 4, and 1. Okay, so we can see just by taking these points out of each other, we get 4, minus 11, minus 4, and 1. If you want to visualize it, at this point you don't need to, but if you want to visualize it, we think about this as a surface. We are looking at it from the side like that. Okay, we are looking at it at the side like that. Okay, so this is the Z, which is the standing point. We can see this is the ground floor. Okay, we move on the x-axis, 9 points, on the y-axis, 8 points, and then we go up how many points? 0. So we just got that point here. However, if we go to the second point, we go minus 2, then we go 4 points, and then we go up 1 point. Okay, let's do that. And that's where our point is going to be on the back. You can see it there. And the results is going to be just the one that we have also got. You can visualize it now. If you are going into gaming, if you are going into things like that, visualizing sometimes is very important. So what about this one? Yalla, quickly now. We want to jump to the octave. Excellent, excellent. سوري شباب تفضلوا. Okay, guys. So that's it. What we have done is that we have taken the 4 minus 2, comma, 0 minus 0, which is 0. We don't have to write it. 1 minus 3. So 1 minus 3 is going to be 2, 0, and what? 4. Now, let's ask another question. For that reason, we don't need to do the next one. What if he asks P prime P? What is the answer? Yalla. I want to see who gets get it right. Good point, guys. Now, yes, Murtada. So what we can, if we come to solve it in the same way, we are going to take 2 minus 4. So it will be 2 minus 4, comma, 0. And here we'll take what? Minus 3 minus 1, which is going to be minus 2, 0, and minus 4. Now the opposite, if we have that going to this side and we want to find the opposite side, okay, the only thing that we have to do is multiply it by minus. So if we have taken this value, okay, so P prime P is equal to minus P prime, which is equal to minus 2, 0, and 4. And just by distributing that minus on them, it will be minus 2, 0, and minus 4. And that's how we can answer it. If we have the first part, we don't need to go through the steps again. We can directly jump and put minus instead of the plus, and plus instead of what? The minus. Okay, let's just take it out. Can you explain the magnitude? Yes, we are jumping to it now. So we can see these points are as following, as you can see them. We move on the x-axis, then the y-axis, then we go up or down. Okay, calculate. This is going to be the same. We are not going to do it again. And we can see these are the points of them. When he asks about the opposite, let's visualize it. It's going to be the opposite of the previous one. The previous one was that side. This one is the opposite exactly at that side. If we move them, we can see that one, when we have moved it here, it became like that. And this one, it became like this. So they are exactly the same, but on the opposite direction. Okay, keep that in mind. You might need it for the future. And here we can see it's just the opposite, which is the one we just answered. and this one the same. Now calculate the magnitude for the following vector. Now just let's go back one step here. Now if we come to put it here, we can see this is what by Pythagoras equation we can solve it. It's just like a triangle. Okay, so we have the height and we have the base and we have to find what the opposite. So that's very straightforward. To find this point, we have just to take the square root of these squares added. So let's do that together. Where's the magnitude? 3, 3, 3. Yes, that's the magnitude. So calculate the magnitude for the following vector. We are just taking the 3 square plus the 4 square, and that will be 9 plus 16, which is 25. And the answer is going to be 5. Now let's take another topic. So this is the magnitude. What if he's asked us to normalize this point? To normalize
النص
that.
نقلبه صح؟ نقلب الجواب.
ما فهمت سؤالك. Normalize, yes. We take the answer and we divide each point by it. So the normalized point, V1 normalized, is equal to what? 3 over 5, comma, 4 over 5. We are going to visualize it later and why there is a huge application and implication once it comes to normalization. The PC, the computer, if you take the same number in millions and thousands and calculate it, or take the one which is just between 0 and 1, which is like a same proportion between 0 to 1, you see that the calculation of the small ones, which is between 0 and 1, is very quick. And in many applications like machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, reinforcement learning, it's always better to have it in this manner as a fraction of a 1. Okay, so let's go. If we look at it again, you can see that this is the output. Now, this point, if we want to calculate the magnitude, please calculate the magnitude and the normalization. Give us to us in the chat. I'll just download the Octave because I don't have it, or I'll use MATLAB. It's almost the same. Okay, MATLAB is better. Yalla guys, find the magnitude. It's very easy.
سيد إذا ممكن بس تشرح الماجنتود مرة ثانية.
مو مشكلة، ثانية وبرجع عليه. Okay, guys. So again, what's the magnitude? The magnitude is we are trying to find the length of the length of any point. Okay. So if we take this one as a 3 and 4, what we are trying to find, you can see that this is the point It's a 3 on that side, for example, and 4 at that side. No, it's the opposite, 3 and 4. Okay. 3 and 4. What we are having is this point and that point. We want to see what is the length of that one. This point is just equal to that point here. So we can have a whole triangle. We want to see what's the length of that line. So sometimes instead of having 5, 6 points, you can just representing them by 2 points. Now this is in 2 dimension. Imagine you are having a 3, 4, 5, 10 dimensions, and instead of having these 10 numbers, you can just substitute them by 1 point. And there is a huge implications of it, an application in machine learning, which is called the PCA. How instead of having millions of variables, you might reduce them to be in what? 1 or 2 dimensions or whatever. So this is what's the magnitude. We want to find the length. So if we have the length of this one as 4, and we have the length of this one, to find that one, we can use the Pythagoras theorem, نظرية Pythagoras. Okay, we take the first one squared plus the second one squared, and that will give us 5. So now we know the length of this line is equal to 5. You got it now? Excellent, guys.
Yes.
So now to take the magnitude of this vector, we just have taken the square root of each component squared, added together, and that gave us 4.472. To normalize it, we take the same vector, so 2 divided by 4.472. The second point will be 0, because 0 over anything is 0, is than 0, and 4 over 4.472. And that's the normalized point. This is the fourth question. We have merged them together, so we can jump to the octave. So we can see here, what we are saying is that it's here. Now there's something which we didn't cover, which is the angle. Now,
फिर chat maktub 3 or 3 divided by 4.47 472. Shlon 3.
2 then. 2 over this number, 0 over 2, that number is going to be the same. 4 over that number is the okay.
Shlon 3. ما فهم شلون 3
The 3, I didn't. If I say the 3, I'm wrong. Did I say 3?
لا في الشات مكتوب 3.
في الchat مكتوب 3. Nobody have written 3.
في الشات اكو 3 or 3 divided by.
Yeah, it's by mistake. This is Muhammad Jassim. Muhammad Jassim is not a 3, it's 2 over 4.47. 0, and the last one is the following. So you have not to forget the 0 as well. Okay. And we can see here the same. We have taken the numbers, we have taken the magnitude of them, and we have find the point. Now, when he asks us to normalize, we try to take, we have seen that the magnitude was 5. So we divide the point over the magnitude, which is going to give us the same as what you have answered. And now just to understand what does it mean, we are trying to take a small component between 0 and 1. A small picture of it, which is exactly the same proportion. That's what's normalization. We have done it also for the second one. And we have done it for the third one, and that's it. Now, if he asks us to multiply 3 by that number, then we just multiply each point by the number 3. So 3 by V is a 3.
أستاذ part 4 part 4 الحين توصل part 5.
Part 5.
part 4.
part 4 هذا نفس اللي سويناه على normalization. فجاوبناه من قبل. جاوبناه في الأسئلة اللي قبلها. Okay. We have answered those questions 2 in 1 because we are going to use the same numbers. The magnitude, we have used it for normalization. So normalization in short is you find the magnitude and you divide it at each point. And you can see it here. Is it clear, Ali?
Yes.
Okay. Now, once he asks us to multiply, we just multiply each point by the number he have asked us, and we get the answer. The same thing if it's a division, okay? If he asks us to divide that number by 3, then it's going to be a 3 over a 3 minus 6 over 3 and 1 over 3. Clear? If he asks us to divide. Here he asks us to multiply. So whatever action he asks you to do is just 1-to-1. If he asks you to add 2 vectors together, it will be just what? An addition. 3 plus minus 2, 7 plus minus 7, minus 2, and 0 plus minus 2. And that will give us the outcome.
دقيقة
same
سؤال
thing
من
here.
أول. دقيقة. أول ثاني سؤال. أول سؤال. تمام.
Okay. So I'm going to stop the recording and start a new recording for the octave. Open your octave. We'll try to learn what you need to understand so you can go and answer the questions in the Okay, I'll just open Octave. I have MATLAB, which is 99% the same as Octave. So sorry about that because I don't have it on my PC here. I'm just waiting for MATLAB to be open. Yes. Okay, so I have a folder. This is the MATLAB, which is the same as Octave. The difference that you have is if you open, later we look at it. So what is Octave? Let's just start recording. Write an Octave program that calculates the area of the shape. The program first reads the Octave code, then represents the requirements and print out the area. Okay. We look at these questions. I will go through them one by one. We'll try to understand the comments. Okay. So let's start the recording. Okay, I started the recording. Could you please explain? Could you please explain how to make Octave read how many characters in a sentence? Yes, we'll go through that. So now let me just increase the size here. So let me go to preference. Is it clear for you, or shall I increase the size of the font? Zoom it. Okay, let's try to move it to another screen. What about now? Is it clearer? I can't see it, by the way. Let me see MATLAB add-ons, designer, analyzer, color. Can't see it properly because. Okay, let me download the Octave then. Or no need, I can use the editor. I'll use the editor. So a new script. So as you can see here, we are going to write a program and to see the output of it. Let's make it live editor so you can see the output. Live script. So you can use the editor. You can use it to calculate any kind of number. For example, 3 plus 2. Okay. If you run it, you are going to have the answer as what? As 5. So you can use it as a calculator. You can multiply 3 multiplied by 8. Okay. And just directly what? Calculate it. It can give you directly the answer of your output, which is 24. Okay, even me. What is that point? Oh, sorry, I'm on another screen. Sorry about that. Now we can, what I said before you came, before I show that, you can write any kind of, you are not sharing the Octave slides. Okay. We can use the Octave to write any kind of calculation that we have learned how to do in the calculator and in Excel. For example, 3 plus 8. Okay. If we just click run, it will show us that the answer is what? 11. Okay. If I say the 12 multiplied by 8, okay, I'm going to have now the second answer for that one is what? 69. I can take 2 to the power of 5, which is equal to 32. Okay, I'm going to get what? 32. I can divide the numbers, for example, 12 divided by 3. Okay, and the answer should be what? 4, and so on and so forth. So we can use the Octave as a calculator. Now let's take an example. We can have a variable called a, and we might put in that a any kind of number. So 1, if it's a horizontal vector, so you can put, if it's a horizontal vector, you can either use the space, okay, or you can use the comma. So if we click on to run it now, we'll see that a is what? A vector which has 6 elements, 1, 3, and 5, as you can see it were on the other side. And here we have something called workspace. Usually on Octave, you are going to find it here. You can look at the variables, what's inside them. Okay. What's inside those vectors, what's the answer, and so on and so forth. These are very elementary points, but we are going to build on them. You can multiply the vector, how to calculate 2 to the power of 5 on calculator. There is a power in the calculator, which you can just write 2 to the power of 5 on the calculator. It looks like this. Okay, I don't know if you can see it or not. Okay, and once you click answer, it will give you what? 32. So if we have a and we want to multiply the a by something, we can store it in another vector. So equals to b, 3 multiplied by a. And once we run it now, we are going to have another vector, which is called b. And the answer is a 3, 9, 15, 12, and so on and so forth. So for each point, we are trying to multiply it by 3. Okay. However, if we want to multiply now in C, we want to multiply A by B, it will give us an error. Let's try that. It will say an error. So what's the solution? We want to multiply element by element. And what do we mean by that? Let's run it now. We want to multiply the 1 by 3, which is going to be 3, the 3 by 9, which is going to be 27, the 5 by 15, which is 75, and so on and so forth. And you can do that element by element multiplication as long as you need it. Let me just look at the Now let's try to answer the questions that we have here. Okay, so let's take that part and just put it as a text. Okay. So we have the question says, in octave, set A equals to 2, B equals to 7, C equals to 13, and then multiply them. So we can do that directly by saying A equals to 2. If we put that semicolon, then we don't want to see the output. Just keep it inside where? Here. Okay, let's just clear these. Okay, just keep it here. And we want B equals to 7 and C equals to 13. Yes. Thank you, Sulaiman and Al-Ghalia, for helping our colleague Ali. Now, the only thing that he's looking for is A multiplied by B multiplied by what? C, which is just a multiplication. If we run it, we can see the answer is what? 182. If we take these out, the semicolon, and we run it, we'll see the output of each one of them coming out in the answer. Okay. So let's go to question number 2. Question number 2, guys, if you want to follow up with me, please do so. Oh, yes. So the second question. Second question says that in octave, set D equals to that, and set E equals to this. Now, there is something here that I always tell my students to do. Whenever you write the equation, okay, try always to think about the number of brackets you open. And as a best practice, whenever you need to open a bracket, so 1.2 multiplied, okay, by sign, and I'm going to open the bracket. Whenever I open it, I close it in the same time. Okay, so 40 multiplied by pi divided by
What is the question
180.
for this one? Green is the question or what?
Green is the question. So if you put percentage or double hash, it will be green. That means don't read these lines, just jump below them and look at
Now
them.
you
So I'm
write with the
putting
green is question or something else?
question. Yeah, it's the question. Okay, so plus, now I will take the log. Okay, and I'm going to take the log, okay, to the log of 2.4 to the power of 2. Okay, and that's it. So once I click on it, I can go to the next one. You can see here we have one extra bracket which we didn't need. If you are going to stick to that one, you have to put what? An extra bracket. So this is a typo. Just take that first bracket out, and the E is equal to 2.7 multiplied by cosine of what? 40 multiplied by 1 over 60. Now, if we multiply it, multiply both D and E. So D multiplied by E, let's see what's the answer going to be. So we can see we have got the following answer. as 0.7 and here 2.12 and 1.6 as an answer. Excellent, guys. Can we move? Guys, I want you to ask me because I don't want to take from your time. We are here for the past 5 hours, yani. So I will try to make it a little bit quick. So if you have any questions, yes, we'll do that question. We'll do that question, no worries. So let's jump to question number 3. So here, see, Ali, if you put a percentage, it's just what? Changing it to a question. Create a vector of numbers between the range between 1 to 200 with a spacing of 5 each number. The result should look like the figure 2 below, hence refer to the slides on the colon notation to achieve that. Now here I want to say something. When he specifies for you the spacing size, it's different than if he has asked you about the number of points. So let's take the question from 2 dimensions. So if it's the first one, he's asking us to write a vector v equals to a vector from 1 to 200, but then the spacing in between is equal to 5. So here what we are asking it is give us the points between 1 to 200, and then each 5 points just give us the numbers that can just fit that 5, 5, 5, 5 as an increment. So if I run this part, I can see that 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 5, 11, and so on until we reach what? The end of the vector, which is 196. Okay. Now, if I go to the second one, which is called line space, line space is different. It asks us what's the beginning point, starting point, I said 1. What is the ending point? I say 200. And then I will specify how many points I want in between. If I want 5 points only, okay, let's see what happens. It will give us only these 5 points. 1, 50, whatever, and so on. If I want, for example, 3 points, and I run it again, I see only 3 points as an output. So the difference between them, and this is very important, very, very important, okay, because your output might be wrong if you have answered it wrongly. 1 to 200 and the spacing is 5. If you want the spacing is 3, you take it as a 3. You see 1 plus a 3 is 4, plus a 3 is 7, plus a 3, and so on. Okay. However, if you want to specify the number of elements, for example, 3000, okay, you can just click on it and you see the spacing is equal. The spacing is equal, and the number of points is what? 3000 elements. You can see here 3000. So let's go back to the question. This is what the question have asked for. It asks us only for that part. Let's go to question number 4. Create a plot.
أستاذ
تفضل.
شنو ذي مال اللاين سبيس اللي تكلمت عنه قبل شوي؟
اوكي الحين مطالعة. شوف هنا يقول create a plot of a sine wave in octave that has 200 vector elements. هني بنستخدم اللاين سبيس. اللاين سبيس خلني افتح اللاين سبيس اختصارها لين سبيس. So the len space, أول شيء خلينا نطالع الأولى, which is the spacing size. If he told you that I want a number between 1, let's take this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And he said, I want you to give me the numbers between 1 and 10 with a spacing equal to 2. So you are going to start taking this one. You jump 2 points and you take this one. You jump 2 points, you take this one. So the output is going to be 1, 3, 6, sorry, 5. I'm sorry. If the spacing is 2, he will jump to 3, he will jump to 5, he will jump to 7, and he will jump to 9. So this is what, if you ask it v equals to 1 to 10, and the spacing is equal to 2. Now, what if he wants the spacing equal to 4? So it will jump from 1 to what? To 5. To what? To 9. So the outcome of v equals 1, 4 to 10 is what? Equals to 1, 5, and 9. Here the outcome is what? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So this is what you want to specify the spacing. But what if he asks you, like the question that we have seen now, I want you to give me between, for example, 0 and 1, 200 points. 200, 2,000, 2 million. So he wants you to slice them in equally sized 200 points here, 200 points. How to do that? If you are going to use this way, you have to do some calculations and things to reach what is the spacing size, and then you are going to put it here. However, to do that, there is a function called what? Len space. You specify where is the starting point. For example, this is from 0 to 10. 0, what is the ending point? 10. And how many elements you want here? How many numbers? So we say 200, for example. It gives you that thing. We are going to use it now in the coming question. So if we come to this question here, he's asking, create a plot of sine wave in octave that has 200 vector elements on its x-axis. The plot should have a title and a label on both x and y. So how to do that? First, we have to create a vector. Let's call it x. Okay, x equals to len space. He didn't ask us from where to where, so you can create any starting and ending point. So let me take it from 1 to 10 multiplied by pi. Okay. And what is the number of elements? He just specified this point, which is 200. So he wants 200 elements. Then y equals to sine of what? Of x. Then he wants us to plot it. So plot x and y. But he wants you to put a title and a label. Do we have to put 10 pi? No. And this is a question, no. We see other questions. He have specified for you what is the starting point and what is the ending point. Okay. So now we'll take the below the plot. I'm going to put a title. Title, let's call it what? Sine wave. Do we have to put, when should it be used? When he specified the number of elements in the vector. If he didn't, then you can use anything because he didn't specify. X label. Okay. We'll give it X label, let's say X values. And Y label. We'll call it what? Output, for example. Okay.
Sir?
If I run, yes.
Can I write x instead of x value?
Yeah, it's just the title. So see here, you can see the title, whatever you write here is going to come in the top here. Whatever you write in the X label is going to come here. Whatever you write here is going to come here. So if I change it and I just say that what? Hello, say it. And in the X value, X, I said welcome, say it. And here I say bye, say it. I'm going to see they are coming what exactly on those points and just changing what the titles. Is it clear now, Aisha?
Yes.
Why you use 10 pi in the line space? It's just, because sine and cosine, usually we use pi. Okay, there is no point. I can't change that to, for example, 20. Can just change that to 20. Okay, or let's say even 5, 10. I can just specify it myself and it will run. So it's just because usually we do that in science. So now this is the question which is asking about that. If we go to the next question, it asks us to do almost the same. Create a cosine wave with 200 vector elements on its x-axis. Okay. So again, question 5 is almost the same. I will use the same x, but I'm going to change the y. I'll call it y1. y1 equals to cosine of x. Okay. And then I'm going to put the same thing here, but I'm going to change it to y1. So y1. So cosine here have been calculated to y1 as a variable. We store it there. The values here came here. And I'm going to plot it. And here, instead of sine, I will write what? Cosine. Cosine. Okay. I'll run it now. So we can see the above sine wave looks like this. And the other one is looking like what? That. Let me start from 0. It's better. So we can start from the starting point. Okay, so we can see this is the sine wave and this is the cosine wave. Now the next question, and this is very important. I will give you now not 2 minutes, 5 minutes to try doing this equation by yourself. Okay. Says here, combine both sine wave and cosine wave on the same plot. The plot should have title, label, and both x and y axis. Now, just to have it as a complete function, you might write this line again here, but you don't have to. Okay. I'm just going to take that one down so we can have more space. You can look at it. What we have to change here, guys, is that once we plot the sine wave, okay, and do the x-axis, let's change that to the wave plot. Once you have one which is ready, you have to use the following keyword. This is the crucial keyword, which is what? Hold on. Once you do hold on, it will plot the first and put the second one on the top of it. So if I take now this one and I just put it down there, the same function, see, I copied this one, I put it there, and I just wrote plot on, and I've taken this part and I've put it where? Down here. It will plot both of them on the same graph. So let's look at that. you can see that this was the sine wave, which is starting from 0 and going up. And we can see the cosine is starting from 1 and coming down. And now I can see both of them are just on the top of each other. I will give you 5 minutes to start writing this equation, this octave code. And don't forget to write it in the editor. Don't forget to write it in the editor, okay? In the exam, do we have to upload an answer file? Yes, you have to. You have to. So you are going to save it as M file, and then you are going to upload it in the, what is the clock? In the Moodle. Your question is not going to be answered, corrected until unless you have uploaded your file. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Try to solve it. Try to write it and solve it, guys. This is very important to understand how to use the plot, how to use the hold on, how to put the title, and so on. How many octave questions? Last year it was 10, but I asked them to make them less. I said less than 5. 5 is okay. Yalla, guys, I'll give you 5 minutes.
استاذ عاد ترجع حق الاوكتيف هي
هاكو الاوكتيف له قريبين.
واضح واضح.
اوكي. Yes, Aisha. When I have more than point, can I put it in the vector? I click on it. Yes, I click on editor Ali Fuad and write the program, write the code and save it as .m. In the exam, can we use calculator directly to solve the PNR? I will ask about that question. Fatima will ask about it. Murtada, your question is, when I have more than, how can I solve this question with more than? With more than what? More than one vector. I'll come back to you. Just 1 second.
استاذ
أهلا.
بس استغربت شنو ذي مال الحكايه مالت 10 باي 10 ضد باي.
10 pi is just, you know, when you use sine and cosine, usually they put it in the context of pi. Okay, so that's the only thing. You can't change it to any number. It depends on the question, actually. Let's look at the questions below here. They have specified for you, not this question, the next question. Let me see the other one. They have specified for you from where to start to where to finish. However, again, in the sine and cosine question, they didn't. Okay, so it's open a question. You can add any point. Okay.
Okay.
So I have a meeting at 1. I've just asked them to delay it. But Murtada, can you explain your question, please? Type of things that need to be in the editor, and what are the things that need to be in the command window? What is the difference between both exactly? Okay, so what's the difference between them? The command line is line by line calculator. Okay, line by line calculator. So you can't bundle things and use them again and again. You have to write them every time that you need them. Sahih, Murtada, I have seen your question. I will answer it now. Okay. So you can't find the question by question. You can't run multiple lines at once unless you are copying them from the history. Okay, if you are copying them from the history, yes, you can find them. Okay, and copy them and put them. But if I want to save this file and send it to you, you send it to me, I run it, you run it, it has to be a file, a program, a compact one. So that's why we write it in the editor, save it, and send it to somebody. This is what you have to do for the exam. So once you write your code, it has to be in the editor. You save it. You'll see the name here. That file, you'll upload it you'll upload it to the Moodle. So now our 5 minutes finished. Let's go to answer the rest of the questions. Is there any difficulty in this question? So Murtada have gave us a question which looks like the same as what we have done. The question is, we can answer it by many ways. So let's open that question and put it to answer it. Murtada. This question, yes? So let's copy it. Okay. So this is the question that our colleague Murtada have asked us to answer. Let's answer it together. Okay. So the question is clear. Write an Octave program to plot the following functions. Y equals to that, B equals to that, and C equals to that. Plot the graphs with the number of plotting points 2, 34, 100, and 200. Notice the differences between the numbers of points increase. Your graph should contain the required information to explain the graph. Now, this is an open-ended question. You can answer it in multiple ways. One of them, you might write a code for A, B, and C alone, and then code them within one function. Mine is not running in Octave, and as not showing graphs. Would you like to share your to values, right? Yes, you are right, Khadija. If you want, you can share your screen. I can solve it with you. Ali and Abdulaziz, if you want to share your screen, you can do that and I will solve it with you. Okay, do you want to? Guys, Ali and Abdulaziz, do you want to share your screen? Okay, Yalla Abdulaziz, do that.
Sir, how do I share my screen? Oh, there.
There is beside the leaf on the top, yes.
Can you see
So
it?
increase, yes, increase the size.
I'm pretty sure I wrote it wrong, but I don't know
Yeah,
what I
go to edit on the top. No need for that. Sorry, go out. Click on Control and scroll up. Yes. So now we can see X is line space 0, 10 pi to 100, sine is Y, plot X and Y, sine wave X and Y, Y, Z. Where's the problem? We'll go to the...
1 second. You need the command window, right?
Yes.
When I press run, nothing shows up.
Nothing showed up. It says edit. Okay, go to the edit on the top there, on the left hand side. Yeah, click on it. Go to style preference, down the last one. And go to the general. Then command, the second one. Increase the number 8 at the top to be 18, for example. Yes, okay. So yes, edit. What's the name of the function? What did you save it? Save as, go to save as.
Wait.
Yes. The disk, no, the one beside it.
And
So
I
what
just
did
named
you
it
call
anyway. This is an old file, but I deleted everything on it.
Okay. So save. Yes. Undefined near line 1. Yes, because it doesn't know where is it exactly. So you need to specify where's the file. Run it now again. Let's see if it shows anything. Okay. So save as. Write something. No, don't write octave. Q1. Now you can't write anything. Okay, run it now. Doesn't run as well.
Maybe I wrote it wrong?
No, you didn't. Just go to view. Not a view, edit. Edit. Yeah, no. Run, go to run. Let's see. Because I need to return it to the same style. No. Go to edit again. Find and replace, because I can't see very well. View. Yeah, editor on the top. Yeah, show the... I don't have it. Show line space, white space. It's very strange. I can't see where's the... I want to see where's the workspace. Where's the current folder, the file?
Not sure. Sir, I've had the same problem in uni where, for some reason, on my computer, Octave does not like to work. Do I send you exactly what I wrote and check if you can copy and paste it onto your Octave and see if it works?
It's correct. It's correct, but you know, I'll tell you what's happening. I know what's happening exactly. There is a folder for Octave, and in that folder there is a lot of functions. So whenever you write something and you run it, it goes to that folder and search for.
Hello?
Okay, so it goes to that folder and tries to find that command that you have written. Now, if you have saved it somewhere else, you have either to add it to the workspace or that you have to be on that workspace. So I here can see your workspace. Sorry, I can't see your file browser. So I can see where is the things stated on. This is what, is it, are you using Mac?
No, Windows 10.
Windows 10, so why your command window is different than us?
I'm telling you, for some reason, my Octave downloaded very wrong.
Okay.
It's the same in Uni. I try, even the desktop's there. Like it does, like it's just Octave is cursed with me.
No, it's not. Yeah, no worries. Reinstall it again. And if you have the same problem, just take a meeting with me and we'll solve it together. By the way, give me control.
Sure.
Yes, I know what's going on. Save as. So the file is in the Octave folder. And this Octave is in the Z. Is it Z? I can't see very well.
It is Z. It is Z.
Z. So what we can say is that actually MATLAB is easier to specify that. Copy full path. Yeah, right-click and paste. Copy the full path. Go there, right-click. No, just from here.
I'm pasting it.
Is that working?
I'll uninstall and reinstall.
Okay. Okay then. Let me now just share it from my side. Okay. So now the question here is straightforward. It didn't ask us for much detail, so we can just specify whatever we want as we like. Okay. It didn't say that I might do it in many ways. One of them is that I can do them in sequence. And just for you to see, I can show you how to do it. So if we take the first question here, okay, and let's write it. It's first a function. We need the points to be between -10 and 12. And then we need to have different line spaces each time. Now, he didn't specify they have to be overlapped like what we have done here, but we are going to do it. Okay? So I'm going to make the first function. So why the function is always going to be the same. We'll start by x, and then we'll make y equals to that. Okay? And we are going to specify each point. So equals, here we are going to do it for the 2 points. Okay? Line space. Okay, 1. And it's going to finish, not 1, it's -10. He asked us to start from -10 and finish at what point? At 12, comma, 12, comma, how many points he wants us to use? 2. Okay. Then he wants us just to plot it. So plot x and y. He wants us to put a title and everything. So we'll make a title. He wants us to put a title. So we'll put, this is what, plotting the function. And he wants us also to put an x label. So we'll say, as we have done earlier, x values. And we'll put also the y label and we'll make it as what? Output. Okay, just to make it short. Now, once we run it, okay, sorry, I have to hold off. There. So we can see when we have 2 points, it's just like that as a line. Now, we are going to do it again, but without the that part, and we are going just to put hold on. So we can just build on the same function. Now, once we have that, what is the second point? 34. This is a very long way to go. And you can imagine I'm repeating the same task again and again and again and again. And I will run it now. And I can see now here, I'm going to have what? 2 different lines. If I go now, do the same part here, and just put, what's the number now? 100 and 100. Now we are having 2 different lines, 3 different lines, the blue, the red, and the yellow. Okay, the orange and the yellow. If we go to the third one, again, it's going to be, let's say, 200, which is the point that he asked us to do. And we'll run it again. So you can see now we have 4 different lines. 234 was just like that. Then again, 100 was opened at the end. And now with the 200, it's what? Aligned. So doing this is very time consuming. And maybe you are not going to ask the user to put only these 4 points, but you might ask him on a separate, let's do it hold off.
Can you scroll up from question 2?
Here?
Question 2.
I didn't do a question 2. This is question 1.
From here.
Yeah, here. This is only, we have done only this part with these 4 different points. Okay. Can I go forward, guys?
Yes.
So the question, can you explain, please explain question 5 from the question. Okay, I'll do that. The exam in math for computing will be on the 7th or the 12th. If your class in Sunday, the lab is on Sunday, then it's going to be the 12th. Monday 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. These are the days of the exams, okay? So now what's the solution if I just want to write one function which the user will input the value and then it's going to be run to him? So how to do that? And instead of x directly, we'll ask for an input. So for example, number of points equal to input. And we'll just ask the user to what is the number of points you want to use. Okay. Now, once we do that, we can just take that out. This is another way. Okay. This is the second way, is that we don't need this. We just ask the user to input, and then we are going to draw it. So let's put that. he should ask me for an input. So he asked me here, what is the number of points you want to use? I said, for example, 200. So once I say 200, directly he will, sorry, I did not adjust it. Here I have to put what number of points as a variable. So now once I run it again, he would ask me for the number of inputs. I would say 200. Once I say 200, and I click on enter, it will draw it for 200. If I run it again, and I say, for example, 34, now I'm going to see that the output is of a 34 output. So it depends on the context of the question. How does it need it to be done? Okay. There's other ways to solve it, but it's going. I don't want to go deep for those who are just want to learn, and I don't want to go shallow for those who already know. Is this the last question we do? I don't know. Depends on you. Some students have asked me for some questions. So he said, can we answer question number 5? This one? The question says, let me just take it down. The question says that you have the following strings. S1 is that, S2 is this, S3 is that. Write a program to do the following on these strings. Find the number of characters in each string. Construct the following sentence. Okay. Khadija said, do we have to write hold on before any new X and Y values? If you are going to just put them on each other, you do hold on. If you are not, you don't put hold on. Okay. So the question is very straightforward. Let's take these 3 sentences. Okay. Now, one thing I want you to always look at, sometimes you'll see that they are putting the quotations on them, double quotations. Okay. If they are putting the double quotations from the Word file, they are different than if they are not from the Word file. We need these standing double quotations. If you take the one in Word, they are just curly, so on the side. So you have to be sure what they are looking for. So you have the following strings. Write a program to do the following on this string. Find the number of characters in each string. This is very easy. So let's call the variable L of S1 equal to, or length, so you can have length of S1. We'll have len of S1. Okay. The same thing is going to be repeated for the rest. Now, if I run it, sorry, they ask me here for an input, let's say 20. Length of S1. Y1. Sorry, guys, just run it in Octave. It will run for you. I'll put it in the chat. Okay, because I'm using MATLAB, because maybe I need another function. So what's the output, guys? If you have got the output, just post it in the chat. Excellent, guys. So you can see that to get the length of these strings, to calculate the number of characters, you can just use length to get them. Now, the second part of the question, construct the sentences, this sentence. So let's take this sentence. Excellent, yes. So we need to take the third sentence and put comma and space, and then get what, which one is S2. So how to do that? We can just write strcat, okay, open the bracket, S3, comma, and here we are going to put what? Comma space, okay, comma, and S2. Now, if I run it, I can see that the output is going to be, if I am lucky, dreams can come true. So try that.
Sir, this which question? If
This
I'm
is
lucky,
question
dream.
5. Question
Which,
5.
starting from where? Question 5.
Extra problems in Octave, tile 2.
I mean, from here, you write question. If I'm lucky, dream come true. This one.
This is question 5, and additional problems on Octave and tile 2. We have downloaded the file. This is the sentences. We need to construct them. So we have taken S3, which is I'm lucky. We have put an extra comma and space. And then we have put what? S2. Now the second sentence he wants us to make is the following. And you can see, guys, this is what I'm saying. See these quotation, they are curly. I can't use them directly if I'm going to use them. So here what we need strcat, and we need S2, no, not S2, S1, comma, and then what? Dreams, which is S2. However, if I do that, let's see what's the difference between them. And I run them, I can see that here he asked me for a space at the beginning, there is no space. And then here there is a space and there is no space. So how to make a space? You can either put a space. Sometimes it doesn't accept it.
How
so
did you run this one in editor? How to run this?
Just run it.
I fixed
You
it.
click on the run here. And it can be run. Okay, some of you are not going to find this available, so put backslash. Can somebody write for me backslash in the tab, because I'm using British keyboard, not American keyboard. Thank you. So you can write backslash 0, comma. So give me one space, and then that, and then one space. Now, in Octave it will run. You will see most of you are going to get it right. Okay, let me try it. No, it doesn't. Okay, so what's the solution here? Try one quotation. Because between editor to editor, you have to know if it's one quotation or not, if it's running or not. But on the Octave that we have in the Uni, it works. Also, it doesn't work. So the solution is to, if you want to 3 taps, then it's a /t. It will make more spaces. Is it working for you, the one that I have given you? Also, it doesn't work. I think in my case, it works as a space, just normal space, because I'm using MATLAB. Yes, it works. So for you, when you run the code that I gave you on the chat, is it working on Octave? It works. Excellent. So the way to do it is as what we have done it, just in. Okay, so that's how you do it. What else? What other questions you need? Since we are here, let's look at the Unicode. I hope it's the same function here. Unicode to native. You know what's the Unicode to native? So if you write this, just put it in your Unicode to native. Now, maybe you have seen that before. Now, when you have a letter like A, the PC does not store it as an A. It converts it to a number. And how to convert it? It uses some kind of encoding page. I forgot what they call it. So that encoding take that A to a number. So A in the system, usually it's saved as 65. Now, once it's saved as 65, you might study in other subject that this is in the PC is not stored as 65. It's going to be stored as what? 100001, which is 65. Okay? And that in the hardware, you know, each one of them is going to be stored in either an on or the zeros of current, electricity. There's no electricity or there's electricity in that storage proportion, resistor or whatever. Okay? So we can see the ones are that and the zeros are this and so on. So this is how and why it's important. Now, in your project that you are going to do, you are going to use that kind of changing. If you are going to use, now what if I have the number and I want to change it back? I can do it in 2 ways. I hope here in MATLAB is working, but let's see. Now here, if I do Unicode to native and I run it, I would see that it will give me the number, what, 65. Now, if I take the same function almost and I write native to Unicode of 65, it should give me what? It should give me the large letter, what? A. So let's just run it. And we can see that this is 65 and this is the letter A. Now there's, if you don't want to specify the paging, let's see, what does that mean? Yeah, encoding, the encoding. Okay, we have many encodings already there. So what if the language was not English? What if the language was Arabic, Chinese, Indian, whatever? He has to specify for you the paging. So last year exam, and I think there's some questions about it, he gave the encoding, okay, the page, the encoding number, and you have to find a character or whatever, or to write something on it. There is a function which looks like the first one, which is Unicode to native, which is called char of 65. If I run it now, I would see that it will give me also what? The letter A. Now, the difference between this one and that one is this one is depending on what? The ASCII code, which is the European language. And this one is very specific to English. Now, this is the European, Western, Eastern European languages, and -1 means what? English. Char is directly taking the European characters and just stating them. What else we need to look at the characters? We can do str compare. So str com, okay, we can compare between S1 and S2. The answer is going to be what? Or let's do something together. I'll make it as Sayyid, capital letter, and the second one is Sayyid as a small letter. We want to compare between these two strings if they are the same. So we should get an answer of what? 0, not true. So we can see it's what? 0. However, if I change that letter now to capital, so we can see they are identical. If I run it now, I can see the answer is what? 1. So let me just pass them to you. You can try them. Did you get the right answer? Which is 0 and 1? Okay. So now I want you to find what is at. So take that A and put at instead here. See what is the number coming to you. What is the difference between the first and the second? The first one, you can see that Sayyid here is not identical to that Sayyid because this is capital letter and this is small letter. And we know that octave is case sensitive. Capital A is not equal to the small a. Now, let's do that as an example. A. Okay, at is 64. Excellent. I mean the one above. Now, Unicode to native, it means change the letter to what? A number. And we can see here, it gave us 65. Native to Unicode, it means I'm going to give you a number, give me what character it is. And he told me it's A. Now, char is the same, but we said it's already specifying the paging. Okay. Now, let's try the small letter A. If we try the small letter A, this is wrong, yeah, I know. If we try the small letter A, we see it's what? 97. And then if we put 97 here, it will give us a small letter A. So you can try that as well. So if we want any character to get it, we just have to specify it and we can see. So if I put, for example, hash, okay, or pound, let's see if it gets it or not. Maybe it's not part of the paging. It might be like a special character. It's 163, which is the pound. Okay. Now we have two functions to finish the strings. What else we need to do? Yes, index. So let's say I equals index. Yes, what is the difference between? Yes, Aisha. Unicode to native give you the number of that character. However, the native to Unicode is the opposite. You give it the number, it gives you the letter. And run it, you are going to see. See, Unicode to native, we gave it A. It gave us what? The number 97. However, native to Unicode, we have given it 97. It gave us the letter what? Small a. Now, index, we can compare between, let's take one of those that we have earlier, S1, for example. We'll just write it again. So let's say that index S1, comma, and let's put H. I don't know if it runs here, but in oh, sorry. I have to put it between quotation. Are they gonna give us an encoding type? Yes, they will give you the encoding page for sure. You don't have to remember them. Index is not working here. Try it on your PC on Octave. I'll see if there's an Octave online. So here I have written Octave. I have written the letter and I said index S1, which is that string. Where is H? So what does it do? It goes over the S1 and finds this is character number 3. So it will give you 3. So now what if I ask the index of the letter A? If I put the letter A, let me pass that to you.
4 and 8.
It will be 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Index give you only the first time it comes. Now we'll jump to the next one, which is the one which is going to give us the 4 and 8. And you can see the output is what? 4. Now, if we use, let's call it F equals str find, and we give it S1 and the letter A, okay, it's going to give us what? 4 and 8 and 13. Try that. Okay. Now, if, for example, 4 and 8, I gave it AM. It's very specific, so it goes directly to the one, which is that one, and the position of it is number 13. So it will return what? 13. Okay. Do we have any other function than these? strcat, strcomp, index, and strfind. Yeah, I think these are the functions that we have covered in the string. Is there any specific questions you want me to answer? Because I have a meeting at 1, I have delayed it until 2, which I have to prepare for. So lab 6 are only covering this. Can you explain the function? Yes, I can explain the function. Now a function, an octave. I don't know, can we see the online octave? We can do an editor. Can somebody share his screen so I can write the code on him? So, yeah, this is okay. Input data, what's input data? Which tile is it? It is? And the extra? This one you mean? This question? Okay. Let's write this question down. Okay, we'll just so the question is so easy. Let's just start thinking about it. Okay. Let's look at the question. It says what? Write an octave program that calculates the area of the shape. Okay, program, read a code that represents the shape, then prompt. Okay. So the first point here is to ask the user, write an octave program that calculates the area of the shape. The program first reads a code that represents the shape. So first you need what? A code equals to input. You open the bracket, you write something, which shape you want to calculate its area. 1, let's just put it there. Okay. So the question is there. I'll just put /t/t. I don't have /t, so I'll just make it like this. Okay. So now I have the input, which is the code. Then prompt you the enter required dimensions. Okay. So now we need to know what are the area of each one of those. Okay. To know the area of those, it's straightforward. Let me just send a message 1 second. Anyway. So now the first one is the triangle. We'll do if statement. If code equals to 1, else if code equal to 2, else if, okay, code equals to what? 3. Then else and end if. Okay. In my case, because I'm using Octave, we don't have MATLAB, we don't have else and if, we have just end. Okay. Now, if the code is 1, then this is a triangle. You'll ask him for an input, so you say the base is equal to input. What is the base length? And then you'll ask him about what is the height. Okay, so let's call it h. Just to make it fast, h and what? Let's say this is b, sorry, base. And this one I'll call it what? H, which is the height. And I'm going to calculate it. Area, triangle area, is equal to half, so 1/2, multiplied by the base, multiplied by what? The height. And that's it. Now we have to do the same thing for the second one, which is what? The second one? Square. So we need only one input. Okay, let's call it what? L. Okay, what is L? Okay, and we have just to square it. Are you getting what I'm doing? I hope I'm not quick because, you know, we have taken a lot of your time. And I have another meeting, which I have delayed twice today. So the square area is what? L square, or L multiplied by L. Okay, what else do we have? We have the third one, which is the circle. When do we use the end command? Actually, end, I'm using MATLAB. But if I'm using end and endif are the same. End and end function are the same, even in Octave. But they have a specific one, so you can know that this is the end of the function, this is the end of the if function, if statement, and so on and so forth. Yes, they are recorded, yes. So we want to find the area of the circle. Can anybody remind me what's the area of the circle? 2 pi square. Is it?
Pi r squared.
Yes, pi r squared. Pi r squared. So now what we need here is we need only r. So r equal, and you ask him for an input. What is r? Okay, and you are going to just to take the pi multiplied by r multiplied by r. Okay. Now you can make it to the power of 2, but making it that. Else what? Display invalid code. Okay, that's it. Now let's run it and see the output. So if I run it now, it asks me which shape you want to calculate its area, 1 for triangle, and I'm going to select one. What is the base? I'll say 5. And what is the height? I'll say 3. And we can see the answer is what? 7.5 there. Okay, just 1 second. The square area is 25. Now, if we run it again and we take a 3, okay, let's make it a 3, which is the circle, and I put 5. It will give me the area of the circle. Now, what if I have run it again and I put, for example, the code as number 8? It will give me what? Invalid code. Okay. So this is the question that you have asked for. If you have any other question, try it once and twice. Otherwise, you might ask me and I would see if I can help you with that. Are we good, guys?
Sir, I have an unrelated question.
Yes.
I'm trying to log into Moodle, it's not letting me. Is there something happening today?
I'm not sure. I'm in Moodle now, on Moodle.
Whenever I try to log in, it says invalid login.
Maybe just look at the keyboard. Is it English or Arabic? Sometimes
It's saved.
You just...
It's saved like...
I'm not sure. Just contact the IT people.
Okay.
Yeah. Same. Who has a problem? Hamad Jassim also? Change your password. Ammar says. Change the password and it will work. Okay. Okay, guys. It was a very nice 6 hours with you today. I didn't even thought that we can spend that time together. However, hope that you have gained something. I hope I didn't waste your time. And hope you the best. Is there time to explain the function? If somebody